What up, YouTube? So today's gonna be part 3 on how to start your K swap. Today we have a CRX with a k20z1 swap, and it's pretty much all ready. It's all plumbed and ready to go, as you can see. We're pretty much gonna be showing you guys how to wire up with the actual stock harness from the RSX Type S. They don't really make too much aftermarket support for the k20z1, so if anybody needs to wire up a k20z1, which is the 2005-2006 engine harness, most harnesses are 02 to 04, so we're pretty much going to go through the basics. I already cut this off, and we're going to be going wire by wire on how to get all the cluster to work and pretty much get the car started, hopefully, if everything goes good. So right now I'm gonna start unraveling this, and then we're gonna start going wire by wire on how to get your k20z1 started, which is 05 to 06. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting this prepared, and then we'll come back. Alright, so first thing you want to do when doing your own conversion harness is find the plug that's gonna be going to your gauge cluster. So this is going to be the cluster plug, which this is going to be the charge light, which is blue and white, and then we have yellow, red. That's going to be our oil pressure. Yellow, green is going to be our temperature, and then blue, solid blue, is going to be our tach. And then this is going to be our starter signal, which will run to the C101 plug, and then these other ones are going to be our main power source for our C101 plug. So pretty much that's what this is right here, and this is what's going to go onto it. So on the C101 we have our starter signal right here, and we also have our reverse lights. These are going to be our reverse lights right here. And then most of the other stuff comes off the E-plug as well. So this is going to be our tachometer, our check engine light, and we get pretty much our oil pressure all from this all right here. So first thing I'm going to start doing is tapping in everything. So we're going to start with the starter signal wire. We'll do that. We'll do our oil pressure. And our actual let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this wire right here is going to actually tap in, the charge light is going to tap in into this one right here. So it's going to be blue, white as well. Just so this is not confusing, I'm going to go wire by wire. So right now we'll just start off with the simple wire, which is just doing the starter signal, and then we'll start with, after that, do check engine light, oil pressure, and just go one by one. We'll do actually this plug first to make sure we have everything on the cluster, and then we'll start with our fuel and then power for the ECU, and then running O2 sensors as well. So there's a lot of things we got to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock a couple wires out, and then we'll come back and then continue on. Alright, so we're back now, and I got most of the wires from the cluster almost ran. So let's start with the tach. So the solid blue wire, I have it going to the E plug, which is this one right here. So I believe it's plug 25. Speed will be 26. So this is the blue white wire, but like I said, we're gonna just run that and have it ready for the cluster, since this cluster was cable read. I also ran the MIL, which is the green orange one. So the MIL went to this one right here. They're usually the same color, that's why it's pretty much pretty easy. You just take your time one wire by wire. Alright, so we got check engine light, tach, and then this is the charge light. So this is to let your cluster know that your battery is being charged by the alternator, and that goes to your white plug on the cluster side, and it's just going to be going to blue white as well. And then we got yellow red, which is our oil pressure, and that's going to go to our C101. So we got that ran. So we got oil pressure, tach, battery, and charge light. And next we're going to be going with is probably, oh, and we also did ELD. ELD is the green red wire, which goes to your E-plug right here, which is, I believe, like number 15, but it's still the same color, like I said. Next thing I'm gonna start getting ready is probably the power wires for the ECU. So your main power wires are gonna be from your C101 plug, and that's gonna be number 9, 14, and number 20. So the black white wire, the yellow and black wire, and then the black and orange wires. So I'll get those ran right now, and then we'll start getting the wires ready for O2 sensor, which is going to be 3 wires off of this C101 plug, and then the 4th wire will come off of the actual relay itself, which is this wire right here. It's a solid white wire. On O2 to O4, this wire would actually go to it would tap in another way. So but since this is 05, 06, it's different. You can just run this straight to the actual O2 sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking that out, and we'll end up coming back. Oh, also I did the starter wire, signal wire as well. The starter wire is actually in here. We'll bring that out and show you. And then we also have the alternator charge wire. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting that ready as well, so we can plug that into the fuse box, and then we'll come back and see what else we gotta knock out. Alright, so we're back now, and I got the power ran to the battery so far. So the red wire is gonna be from our starter directly to the starter, so that goes directly to the battery. And then the alternator wire will go to the fuse box, which is gonna be to the right. And then the left one is going to be the power for the fuse box, which goes to the battery. So that's pretty much ready. I got my ground ready. And then now we can explain the C101. So we took this red wire. We took this yellow green wire. And we took the yellow red wire. And we also took the white wire from here, and we were able to pretty much wire up the O2 sensor. This is the primary. We're not going to do secondary O2 sensors, not like we're running a CAT or anything. Yeah, that's pretty much it on how to run the O2 wiring. Next, right now, I have to figure out all the powers, so I'm going to be doing that next. I also want to go over, I'm trying it a different way. I'm using the k20z style, so they actually get the wires from over here. So the ELD is gonna come off, let's see. Alright, so this black plug right here, I'm not sure if this is B or C, but your MIL comes off of this instead, and your ELD is gonna be right here. And then as far as fuel, I took the fuel, they're green and black, so that's gonna be your fuel. And then this yellow green wire is actually going to be for fan. As far as the other wire that I came from the white plug that I had started with earlier, that one's gonna actually go straight to the engine compartment. I just have to find it in here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure where it went. Anyways, that wire that I started with is gonna go to right here. So we're actually gonna run that right now. Once we come back, I'll show you exactly what I ran it to. But yeah, pretty much we're almost getting there. We just gotta get some power, and well, this thing's gonna need some grounds, I believe, too. Yeah, we're gonna have to ground the engine as well. So what I usually do when I do a ground, I usually put one on the side cover, one on the intake manifold, and then a ground on the transmission. So we're gonna have to get that going before we can get it starting as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wiring this coolant temp sensor up, and start getting everything ready so we can get some power to this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out and we'll come back. Alright, so the green yellow wire I was talking about, this is the one right here. For some reason I thought it was orange green, but that's gonna be the wire that goes to the temperature. And then I wanted to go over the DLC. So the DLC plug is for your check engine lights. Pretty much you got black and then brown yellow. Those are two grounds, so I just put those together and I ran it to the E-plug, which is gonna be the yellow brown right here. And then I got the blue wire, which goes to the light blue, which is this right here. And then we got white red, goes to, there's a white red in here, I just can't really see it. It's right there, white red. And then we have, let's see, what do we have? Red, white. So that'll go to that one right there. And then the last one is this white red one. That's our switched power. I ran that to this yellow black wire. These are powers right here, yellow black, so you can run those switched. And then I also went ahead and did E9. E9 needs a switched power, which is the memory wire, so I connected that to the black and yellow as well. Next thing we got to do is get power to the ECU. I used number 9 already and connected it to the switch power. You can use any switch power off of any relay, as long as it's a switch power. We still got these wires right here that I got to run to switch powers as well. And that pretty much should be it as far as the wiring situation. Right now we're going to go ahead and tighten everything up, and then we'll get to the ECU. We still have to plug in the ECU and then do put a map on here. Hopefully everything is right and we can get this thing to start up. So I'm gonna start knocking everything out and we'll come back. Alright guys, so we're back now, and now I'm just gonna go over a couple of wires that I need to finish up. So what we need to do is have this wire right here, this red and white wire, that's gonna go to a switched power. And then we have these two red and yellow wires, those need to go to a switched power. And then on our fuel, we have this black and yellow, that needs to go to a straight power, so constant power all the time. So what I did, I just put that wire to the battery. For now, I'm gonna find a constant wire and tap into that. I tapped the two wires together, and since this is a good enough power to feed off of, I just connected all three of them to those. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping those up. We've been having a little problem with starter signal wire getting over here, so we're gonna have to jump that. And then I'm gonna get everything wrapped up right now, and then we should hopefully be able to go for the first start right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking and clearing these wires out, and then we'll come back and see if we can get a first time start. Alright, so I'm uploading a base map right now. It just finished. Also want to show you guys the green and yellow wire. I connected it to a green, black, and yellow wire right here. They're usually right next to each other. Those are reverse. Pretty much everything is set. I just have to get some gas in the car. So we're gonna go do that, and then we'll come back and go for the first time start. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to start up. All right, that's it, guys. Like, we're having mad fuel leaks coming from the tank. As you can see, that's been our major problem. So we couldn't actually build pressure. We've been working on this thing for a while, but it does start up and everything. It is going to be ready to go. We'll be doing another video when it's all ready and everything. I just wanted to show you guys that the car does run and everything. So stay tuned. And if you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you on the next video.